Hello guys, and welcome back to my video series on the Python fundamental. Okay, I'm George Boomer Smith. Now it's been a while. Okay, actually I got this set of projects that have been keeping me busy, plus I now fell ill for a while and the rest of that, but we're back. Okay, now in the last video we discussed about the for loop. Now if you've not gone through the other set of videos, this is model 5, so we are done with model 1 down to 4, and this is the last series we're having in model 5. This Python fundamental, it's composed of 10 models. Okay, so after this model 5 we have 5 more models to go. Hopefully we are going to run it off in the nearest time. Okay, so in this particular video we are going to be looking at the while loop. So we are looking at the general concept behind the while loop. Now we said before that we have two general classes of loops per se. We have the for loop and the while loop. Okay, the for loop is more like a counted loop. We can just picture it as a counted loop. Invariably, you know how many times you want a program to run for, then you use the for loop. But in a while loop, it's called a conditional loop. Though the while loop is more universal because it can do the work of the for loop. Okay, the while loop can do the work of the for loop, so it is universal. However, it is said to be a conditional loop because you try to use it when you have a condition that needs to be satisfied, needs to be met before this loop is going to terminate, or for the loop to keep on running. That's when you use the while loop. Okay, so I'm just going to go through, I will use an anaconda as usual, then you see how the while loop actually works. Okay, so let's see. Let's go down to anaconda. So as usual, let me just show you this is syntax. This is the syntax of the while loop. We start with the keyword while, then there's going to be some condition. So I can zoom this in a bit. Yeah, so we have a condition. Then as usual, since this is a complex statement, or rather a multiple line statement, a group of statements, we have to have that column there. They will move down. So this is where we can just say do something. Right? So I can just say do something here. So I'm saying do something if this condition is satisfied. So it's only when this condition is true that do something is going to work. If this condition is false, do something is not going to work. So do something could be one line of code, or it could be multiple lines of code. It doesn't matter. But once you come out of this loop, this guy will have to run every time. Okay, so we say this always runs, right? So now we're out of the loop, so this part will always run. So I'm going to comment this, and then let's see an example on that. So let's try to take a simple example. So what this example is going to do, we want to write a program that will just print out numbers from 1 to 10. We can use the for loop for this quite alright. If I want to use the for loop for this, all I have to say is for I in range, I think that should be from 1 down to 11. Okay, go ahead and print I. This is going to print all values from 1 to 10. Perfect. But now we want to use a while loop. We want to understand the while loop, so that when it comes to some scenarios where we can't use a for loop, we can go ahead and use the while loop. Now for you to use a while loop, what you need to do, you start with the keyword while. So you give a condition. So we can say while let's say the number, or let's say while count is less than or equal to 10, right? Go ahead and print counts. So what we are doing here is this: we are saying, okay, remember we said we want to print numbers from 1 to 10. So this is a condition. We are saying in as much as count is not up to 10, keep on printing it. Once it is up to 10, or once it is more than 10, stop. So that's what we said. For the fact that it is less than or equal to, print it. So this is the condition that needs to be met for this loop to run. So once this condition is no longer met, the loop is not going to run again. Okay, so once it gets to 11 in this case, it will exit out of the loop. I get it. But now the issue is, if we try to run this, it's going to tell us that count is not defined. So let's just verify that. you can see the name counts is not defined. So how do we take care of that issue? For us to take care of that issue, we need to define counts, because right now there is nothing like counts. So we are going to define count. Usually we say count should start from 0, but in this case, since we are pointing from 1, we have to say count starts from 1. Now at this point, it is going to print, but still there is one more issue. If I run this program, I will run into what they call an infinite loop. This program will keep on running. It will run infinitely. Why is it running infinitely? Because here we've said it should keep on running while the value of count is less than or equal to 10. But we are not incrementing the value of count. So we keep on printing 1. When it comes back, we'll print 1. So 1 is always less than or equal to 10. So it will keep on printing 1 infinite number of times. So let me just run that and show you this. So you can see 1 is being printed. If you try to scroll down, you can see we keep on having 1. And this program is never going to end. So for now, what we are going to do to terminate this program, since we are using Jupyter Notebook, I can just restart and clear outputs, right? That should work. So just to restart this part. If you're not using Jupyter Notebook, you're using anything that works with the terminal, you can just say Ctrl+C to terminate your loop. So we have to take care of this issue. And for us to take care of this issue, I need to increment counts. Okay, so now the question becomes, where do you increment counts? Do you increment counts here? Okay, you know, we can say plus equal to 1, which means we are adding 1 to count. Do you increment count here, or do you increment count after? Now the reason I'm taking you guys through all these possible errors we can make is so that when you encounter this kind of problem, you understand them better. Okay, so now you putting count at this top is not a good idea, because when you do it this way, the first value that will get printed will be 2 and not 1. So let's confirm that. So you can see it starts from 2 and it's still going to print out 11 for you, because you're adding. So it's printing 10 times, so from 2 down to 11 is 10 times. So instead of you doing this, you're meant to take counts to be after I must have printed the value. So I'm going to take this and put it here. Now that doesn't mean you can't put count before the print. You can, but once you do that, you have to change the logic of the program. Possibly make this count, instead of starting from 1, you make it start from 0. Then you can put count at the beginning, and that's going to work out fine for you. Okay, so this is about logic. Just understand what you want to achieve, and then it's going to work out all good. So now if I run this, you can see I'm printing values from 1 to 10. So this is what we have. This is a condition that needs to be satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, this will get printed. If it's not satisfied, it doesn't get printed, and that's just simply what happens. Okay, so that's guys for this video, and as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video, where we're going to talk about the break and then the continuous statement, and how we can actually use this with the for loop and also the while loop. And thereafter, we are going to be looking at else statement that comes with loops in Python. Quite awkward, right? Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.